Hey guys, what is going on? Back here for another game review, and it's time to talk about one of my most anticipated games of 2021, and that would be Outriders, the latest game from developer People Can Fly, the same studio behind Bulletstorm and Painkiller, two games I could not recommend enough. Outriders was a game that I knew next to nothing about. I had played the demo and I thought it was a lot of fun, so I was really excited to see the full game. Also, before I go on, I want to be fully transparent with you all. I was given a review code of the game, and the footage that you guys are seeing is captured from a PS5. So, what did I think of Outriders? Outriders, to put it simply, is an absolute blast of a game to a fault. Getting into the plot. In Outriders, the game takes place in the middle of the 21st century, where Earth has gotten so bad to the point where it is uninhabitable. Earth's governments have found this Earth-like planet called Enoch where we attempt to colonize, and you play as a character simply known as an Outrider. While attempting to colonize Enoch, the process doesn't quite go as expected. You have been put in cryosleep for 3 decades, and once you come out, things have only gotten worse. However, you do discover that you have gotten supernatural abilities. So, getting into everything I liked about Outriders. Starting off with the gameplay. Like I had mentioned earlier, Outriders is a blast of a game. The moment I started playing this game, I have not been able to put it down. And what really makes the game addicting is the core gameplay loop. Leveling up your character, finding better equipment, and leveling up your world tier, which is essentially the difficulty level. Even when the story of the game wasn't great, to which I'll get into that later on, the gameplay is what kept me and actually is still keeping me coming back. I constantly found myself wanting to get better equipment for my character and not only customizing his look, but making him stronger too. And of course, adjusting the world tier along the way as well. Now, I won't lie to you all. Outriders doesn't give off the best first impressions. At first, you might feel like you're just playing another generic shooter, but keep playing and you just might find yourself sucked into the gameplay. The best way that I can describe the game is that it's essentially a mix of Gears of War, the sci-fi setting of Mass Effect, and the loot system of Destiny. It's a mashup that doesn't always work, but I felt that it did work more than most times. Another thing that I really enjoyed about the game was the co-op. The game has 4 classes. My main class was a trickster, and I cannot tell you all how much fun I am still having playing this class. And what's even better is one of 2 things. Either you team up with 2 other tricksters, which can cause so much mayhem on the battlefield, or you team up with other people who play as different classes, which can really turn the tide of battle. For example, one of you plays as a trickster and another plays as a pyromancer. A pyromancer can use an ability to take an enemy out of cover, then the trickster can teleport behind the enemy for a kill. This is a game that if you play with other people with different classes, I think you'd be surprised to see how tactical the battlefield can get. Another praise that I have to give this game is the world that People Can Fly have built for the game. The world of the game kinda has a Mass Effect vibe to it, but I think it does do just enough to have its own personality. It's a world that I found myself surprisingly exploring quite a bit. Something else that I found myself enjoying more than I thought I would was the voice acting. So straight up, the voice acting is a bit over the top and a bit cheesy, and I found myself chuckling quite often. But over time, I found myself enjoying the main character's dialogue. Though don't get me wrong, the dialogue feels very B sci-fi movie-like. If that's a thing that you're into, you just might be into the story, though there are parts the voice acting is laughably bad. Now on to the things that are more of a mixed bag for me. The story is the main thing. Just let me clarify something here really quick. The story for Outriders isn't really a bad one, but the story feels like it's just there. Some parts, don't get me wrong, are really cool, but there are other parts where just make me go like, okay. Again, nothing bad or anything, but it's just there. The sound and music can also be a hit or miss. The gun sounds in particular don't really pack a punch as much as they should. They almost sound flat, and the music itself can be cool, but most of the time, the music just sounds more generic than anything else. On to the things that I didn't like. One thing that I cannot deny is that Outriders if you were to strip it down to its core, it's a pretty generic game that mishmashes a bunch of things together. And while I thought it does work for the most part, there are times where it doesn't work the way it wants to. There are also times where the game just randomly goes to the loading screen, especially when you're just transitioning to different areas. Thankfully, the loading times aren't long at all, especially for PS5. I mean, for me, I think the loading times lasted at max 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, but it just felt really weird to have a short cutscene when it transitions, only to go to a loading screen and then play again. It just felt really weird and unnecessary. Like, it's just the thing just to, I guess, add on gameplay or runtime? I don't know. However, the thing that I did not like about this game at all is the fact that you must be connected to their servers in order to play the game. Not just co-op, but single player as well. If you get disconnected, you get removed from the game entirely. That means that if you're in a really intense part of the game, and if you get removed, you might have to restart that part of the game all over again. And for day one players like myself, this was really rough. The issues honestly kind of killed my excitement at first, as I'd be playing for an hour or two, then I'd get kicked. Thankfully though, since day one, I've had little to no crashes or anything. I've had some small bugs for certain, but nothing game breaking. As far as price goes, for right now, I don't think that Outriders is worth $60, at least right now. Outriders is a game that I feel like has a lot of potential, and I feel like that if they continue to work on the game with further patches and content, that it will be absolutely worth a $60 purchase. With that being said though, it is on Xbox Game Pass for console, so if you do want to download it for free before you make a decision, please, by all means, download the game for free, because I do think it is worth the Xbox Game Pass subscription for consoles. So overall, Outriders is a game that doesn't have the greatest first impressions. It can feel very generic at times, but as time has gone on, and the more I play it, the more I found myself enjoying the game. Quite a lot, actually. When the story and characters aren't the best thing, the core gameplay loop has me absorbed and addicted. And truth be told, I'm honestly having a ton of fun with Outriders, and that fun for me only got better with friends. All in all, I'm going to give Outriders a 7 out of 10. Now hold on. I know many of you are probably thinking that with the aspects that I felt mixed on, it should be lower, but with the amount of fun and the hours I've put in, and I know I'm going to put more into it, and I mean probably a lot more, that's why it's a 7. Outriders is a game that I've had a lot of fun with, and I know I'll be putting a lot more hours into it. Alrighty guys, and that's going to wrap it up for my review of Outriders. Please comment down below and let me know, what did you guys think of Outriders? Are you playing the game right now? Are you disappointed by it? Or are you having a lot of fun? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat and Stardust, so if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links and the usernames are in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Outriders. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell whenever the latest video of mine goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 videos, please click to the left or right side of the screen. And of course, until my next review, I will see you all next time.